you're in your table of contents, and you are just doing item 8, which is rigid transformations, and you're starting this on January 7th, 2020, and you should put that 20 there. So you're going to be doing this photable for 3 different videos. So it's important to keep up with this photable. You don't want to glue it in until you're completely done with it. So day 3, glue it in, but until then, just tuck it in your notebook. So you're just going to go to page 8. Alright. So you're going to page 8, you're just going to put your title. And after day 3, you will actually glue this in right here. So I'm just going to move this for now because we're not gluing it in yet. And so today we're just going to be looking at the definition of rigid transformations and the definition of image, and then we're going to actually practice translations and some examples of translations. So first off, what is a rigid transformation? So what it is movements. Okay, movements of figures that preserve. So remember, you preserve something, you're saving it. That preserve or save their shape and size. So if it's rigid, it's just moving the shape. It's not changing the shape. It's not changing the size. So when you're done, you should still have the same shape, a different size, but it's just in a different location. There's 3 types of rigid transformation. So the first one is a translation. Second is a reflection. And third is a rotation. Okay, so you need to know those 3 things. For now, there is a 4th transformation that is not rigid. It actually will change size. So now we're looking at the definition. You're going to say the image shape. So image just means the new shape after it has been transformed. Okay, so if you have an original, the original will just be called A. It's usually like a letter, but the image, because it's new, we would call it A prime. And so this little sign there, that is your prime sign. So it just means, hey, it's the new one. If you were to move it twice, the shape twice, it would be A double prime, A triple prime. So again, this prime here just means, oh, we moved our shape once, and this is just the new point for our new shape. So go ahead and pause if you need to, but if not, we're going to keep moving to translations. So we're just going to open it up, and we're just going to start learning about translations. So the first thing you need to know about translations, and this is just a picture model of what a translation is, but it's just when the shape slides but does not change size. So it's when it's sliding but not changing size. So as you can see, this shape here just slid. It didn't turn, it didn't flip, it just slid. So it's the same direction but just moved, right? So if we were to put like an algebraic rule on this, you would have these 2 different meanings, and it's just important to understand what these mean. So of course, you have X, you have Y, and so when you're translating, you're just adding or subtracting. That's it. So of course, if you're adding, that's in the positive direction, okay? So it's in the positive direction. So when you're adding a number, and it's any number, for the X value, you are going to move to the right. I'm going to write that in a different color. So you're going to move to the right. For your Y values, if you're adding, you're going to move up. So then it's the complete opposite for when you are subtracting. So if you're subtracting a number for your x values, you're actually going to be moving to the left. If you're subtracting for your y values, you're moving down. So these were just kind of like your directions. So this is like your directions. Okay? So just remember, adding to your x, you're moving to the right. Adding to your y, you're moving up. Subtracting from your x, you're moving left. Subtracting from your y, you're moving down. So we're going to practice that now. So it says translate the figure 1 unit right and 2 units down. So I think it's important to highlight our instructions. Also to make sure we understand we're translating. So this translate just means we're sliding. And 1 unit right just means we're doing x plus 1. 2 units down, because it's down, we're doing y minus 2. And so we're going to show that work below. So the first thing we need to do is just write our original points. So they just give us all these originals here. We're just going to go ahead and write them down. So t, negative 5, negative 1, negative 5, negative 3, negative 1, negative 1. And so now this is where we show our work. So remember, we are plus 1 for our x because it says to the right. We know the right means it's dealing with our x. And then it says y minus 2 because we're moving down. And we know down means our y value. So now we're just going to do the math. So you have negative 5 plus 1, negative 1 minus 2. And I just like to show all my work first because it just makes it easier. So all my x's, I'm plussing 1. But then for my y's, I'm subtracting 2 because I'm moving down. Okay? And then you just write your new image. Your new x, your new y. So here, negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. Negative 1 minus 2, that's also the same as negative 1 plus negative 2. Same thing, so it's just negative 3. Negative 3 minus 2, same thing as negative 3 plus negative 2. So this is negative 5 here, negative 5, still negative 4. Negative 1 plus 1, that's just 0, it cancels. And then again, this is the same thing as negative 1 plus negative 2. And therefore it's negative 3. So this is building on those rules that you used to have, and those rules are a negative minus a number is the same thing as or a negative minus a positive is the same thing as a negative plus a negative. So that's just the old school rule. And then as always, you're going to go back and replot your new shape. So 1 over negative 4, negative 3. Then negative 4, negative 1, or negative 4, negative 5. And again, you should be putting what all these are. So this is t prime, this is I prime, and then lastly e prime is 0, negative 3. And then you just connect them. And so notice it's the same shape. It just slid down and to the right, as it said. So we slid down 2 units and went to the right 1 unit. And so now we're just going to keep practicing that. So you're going to just keep practicing. If you want to practice on your own, you can pause the video. If you still need some assistance and guidance and want to keep watching, that is fine as well. So here, again, we're just going to do our image point. So this says translate 3 units to the right. So again, this math way is just if you needed everything broken down. This is more of the, hey, I get it, I can kind of move it and just do my work from there. So let's see. So it says move, translate, so we know we're sliding 3 units to the right. Okay. So that tells me I'm just moving x plus 3. and nothing is happening to our y because it doesn't tell us to move down. So we're just moving everything to the right 3 places. So we can just do this on our graph. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I kind of just counted those. I didn't have to do any math. Just counted going over. Of course, I'm just going back through. Let me make sure I label everything. So this is now my y prime. This is my m prime, q prime, t prime. And then I want to go back through and make sure I write my final image point, which is 3, 0, 1, 0, 0, 2, 0, 3. So again, just counting over. So this is over 1, 2, 3. So, excuse me, these should be, so this is actually 2, 0, and 3, 0. Sorry for that mistake. So your x is moving, but your y is not. So make sure you fix that on yours. Okay. Alright, let's keep it moving. So it says translate 1 unit right and 2 units down. Be aware the bell's going to ring again in a couple seconds, so just monitor that. So we're going to slide. We're going to do 1 unit to the right and 2 units down. So we know that this is just x plus 1, y minus 2. And so again, I can just do this on my paper. So again, to the right 1, down 2. So that's e prime. So it's over 0, it's over 1, up 1. Okay, and then I'm going over 1, down 2. This is w prime. So this is negative 3, and so this is negative 3. Oh, sorry, this is negative 3 because this is w, and 0. And now we'll finish with g. So g is going to the right 1, down 2. G prime, so g is over 1, 2, 3. So over negative 3, down 2, down 2, negative 2. So those are my new points. And then I just connect them. Okay? So this was just like your practice for translations. You'll be practicing more with these, but this is just like your notes that you can refer to. So make sure you put this somewhere safe so that you can do reflections next, and then put this somewhere. So you can glue it in after day 3 after rotation.